Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're exploring something that is, well, it's way beyond just a simple software update. We're actually looking at a massive, fundamental paradigm shift in how we interact with technology. The evolution of conversational intelligence is moving at literally breakneck speed. And honestly, wrapping your head around the core implications of these new digital companions, it's absolutely crucial for anyone navigating today's digital landscape. So, let's
Just imagine for a second if the friction of creating something dropped to practically zero. What if you had an assistant that could, say, instantly translate your high-level thoughts into raw code? Or break down super complex quantum mechanics into analogies you actually understand? Or rapidly iterate on targeted marketing campaigns and do the whole shebang just through a simple, natural conversation? The stakes here are massive. This isn't just a slightly better search engine, folks. It's an entirely new way of interfacing with information.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll officially meet ChatGPT. Then, we'll look under the hood to see how the magic actually works. After that, we'll map out its role as your everyday AI assistant, uncover some very real limitations you need to know about, and finally, take a look at the future of conversation. Let's jump straight into Section 1, Meet ChatGPT. Now, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. You've probably already heard it's a large language model, right? But its absolute brilliance really lies in its simplicity. It basically maps the vast, messy complexity of human language into mathematical relationships to generate helpful, incredibly natural responses. So you can ask it for deep dive summaries of dense research papers, have it translate entire code bases, or iterate on complex logic. It's meticulously designed to interpret your underlying intent. Moving right along to Section 2, how the magic works. Let's peel back the layers here. To build its understanding of the world, ChatGPT ingests a data diet so ridiculously massive, it would take a human thousands of lifetimes to read it all. We're talking hundreds of billions of words from all over the internet. But it's not just memorizing trivia like a giant encyclopedia. Nope, it's extracting the foundational rules of grammar, the structures of logical reasoning, different human writing styles, and the incredibly nuanced relationships between abstract concepts. It essentially builds a massive web of context mapped out mathematically. Now, it is so tempting to anthropomorphize this tech, to assume there's a little brain in there actively thinking about your prompt exactly the way a human would, but the reality? It's actually far more mathematical. It's basically a highly advanced prediction engine. It calculates the highest probability of the next word and then the next, rapidly navigating that massive web of context to simulate comprehension. So it's not actually magic. It's just breathtakingly fast, immensely complex math. All right, Section 3, your everyday AI assistant. Let's talk about the real world. The sheer versatility of all this math translates into some profound leverage across virtually every industry you can think of. In programming, it accelerates development cycles by generating boilerplate code or debugging those really obscure errors on the fly. Over in business, it acts as an instant sounding board for strategy or competitive market analysis. For creatives, it's brainstorming video ideas and writing characters. It's effectively collapsing the time between having a spark of an idea and actually executing it, no matter what field you're in. So why did it blow up and hit over 100 million users practically overnight? Well, it wasn't just the underlying math. It was the interface, a real game changer. It democratized AI by replacing clunky coding languages and complicated software menus with normal, natural human conversation. You literally just type what you want. It's hyper-personalized, completely frictionless, and ready to help you 24 hours a day. Which brings us to Section 4, the catch. Because we definitely need to talk about AI limitations. Let's just pause the hype for a quick second here. ChatGPT is not perfect. Understanding the absolute boundaries of this tool is exactly what separates the power users from the novices. Because it relies on probabilistic patterns and not grounded human comprehension, it can fail. And I mean it can fail spectacularly. It hallucinates, meaning it will state completely fabricated, incorrect facts with the exact same absolute confidence as a verified truth. It can totally misunderstand complex, multi-layered logic, and its knowledge is firmly bound by whenever its training data was cut off. So think of it as an incredibly powerful co-pilot, but a really dangerous autopilot. Human judgment and verification, still absolutely crucial. All right, let's wrap things up with Section 5, the future of conversation. We are actively living through a massive shift in how humans and computers interact. Think about it. For decades, we had to learn the machine's language, right? Clicking buttons, navigating rigid menus, memorizing exact syntax. Now, the paradigm has completely flipped. The machine actually speaks our language. We're rapidly moving from manually operating computers to having a fluid, conversational partnership with them. As these AI models continue to improve, they're transitioning from being just reactive tools into proactive agents. We're talking about dedicated personal tutors that dynamically adapt to how you learn, tireless research partners that can synthesize mountains of data in seconds, everyday digital companions, and creative collaborators. The interface of the future is inherently conversational. And it all points to this one really profound reality. The future of computing may be less about using software and more about having conversations with intelligent machines. We're moving completely away from wielding software like a blunt instrument and moving toward collaborating with it like a highly responsive entity. So the technology is here, and its capabilities are expanding exponentially. The question is no longer what is ChatGPT or how does it work? The only question that really matters now is how will you use it to amplify your own capabilities? Let that sink in for a bit. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and honestly, I can't wait to see what you build next.